They're going to go on a company-sized operation, which means they're taking multiple platoons, of which McDonough's one of the platoon commanders. And the company commander was named Moray. And Moray calls them all together to do a brief. And Moray, I haven't talked about this much, but Moray is kind of a guy he's not real proactive in getting out in the field. So he's sort of staying back on base. He's a little nervous about the situation. And this is just a great example. And then he's got the other platoon commanders who you kind of hear his judgment on them. But this is a great display of leadership, of taking ownership up and down the chain of command and to his peers. So here we go from the book. The plan would put Murray, who's the company commander, 2,000 meters away from our present location and 4,000 meters away from the objective. I tried to conceal my disdain. Sir, request permission to control the operational movement of the maneuver forces in the initial phase of the operation. I spoke with what I hope was a totally expressionless face. So he's saying, listen, boss, you're going to be way over there. Why don't I just go ahead and control this? The boss says, sure, Jim. I guess that makes sense. You're the senior lieutenant among the platoons. Did you have a plan in mind? Murray was easy, and I was going to take advantage of it. Boom. I briefed him on my concept, routes of movement, where we would set up, time of anticipated contact with the enemy, and types of weaponry we would carry. The captain concurred with the plans, then excused himself. I've got to get back to the CP and report to battalion. Seeing an opportunity for complete freedom of action, I continued, Sir, I need to flesh out the details with the other platoon leaders. May I brief them in your absence? Yes, certainly. Carry on. He left as we stood up to salute. So, do you see what just happened? How beautiful that was? He took total control. And not only did he take control up the chain of command, but he's going to get some control over the peers as well. And he's judging and passing judgment on the way the other platoons are running the way the other platoon commanders are running their platoons. And he says, observing all this, I silently wrote Lieutenant Smalley out of the plan. If he could not exercise minimum control in the defense, he would surely fall apart in the attack. Lieutenant Evans, first platoon's leader, was anxious. He had been on the job only a week, and this was his first operation. He was a tall, good-looking boy from the Midwest, but I felt he was too eager. He was disappointed to be standing pat for the night as the reserve unit, but the call had been Murray's, not mine. Perhaps it was unfair of me to make snap judgments of others and then plan my actions on the basis of those judgments. The thought bothered me, but not enough to deter me. I was in the business of evaluating people, and the traits of other men would determine my own fate and that of my soldiers. Presumptuous though my role may have been, I had to make judgments and act accordingly. Murray was timid, Smalley was weak, Evans was eager. I did not condemn them for that. I noted it and adjusted. We were in a war, not a community social. Just great leadership example of how you lead up and down the chain of command.